All right, so a pleasant morning, students. So today is another day, okay? So we need to learn another lesson for this morning. Okay, so our topic for today is all about cooking terms. Okay, so the learning objectives that we need to obtain this morning is number one, we need to identify what are those cooking terms that is being used in the culinary industry. Okay? And number two, let's understand what are those functions of those cooking terms, not just in culinary industry, but also to the part of culinarians or chef. Okay? So what is the role of knowing cooking terms and should I say what is the importance of knowing this. Okay, so in studying cooking terms class, of course we include the techniques. It can greatly enhance the culinary skills, not just for the students but also for all the culinarians. Okay, they need to understand also the techniques, the way they will prepare food in applying those cooking terms. So it allows also um, to follow the recipes accurately. And another thing that we need to consider is the experiment with different cooking methods. Though wala pa tayo doon sa cooking methods topic natin, but I need to include that as part of the essence of knowing cooking terms. Okay. Aside from that, it ultimately become a more proficient cook at the end of the day. Okay? And what else? It also help the individual to communicate effectively with other cooks and chef, whether in a professional kitchen or even at home. Plus, it can be what? A fun and rewarding way to explore new flavors, diba? And other cuisines. Ayan. So that's the essence. So now, let's start with the first term that we need to study. Okay? So we have the first word, chop. So when we say chop, it cut foods into small, irregular pieces, as in chopping carrots or green peas. So as you can see here from the picture, we have three sizes when we say chop. We have the small, medium, and large. So again, we have the word irregular pieces. Okay? So meaning, we don't need to meet what is the exact or accurate size of a certain ingredient, since chop is just an irregular size per pieces that we need to use during our um, cooking procedure. Okay, and then we have also another one which is cube. So cube, by definition, cut into evenly shaped pieces about 1/2 inch on each side, as in cubing bread. Okay, so the difference naman ito sa chop is pagdating sa cube natin, kailangan pantay-pantay or pare-parehas ang size. Okay? So, paano magkakaroon ng pagkakapare-parehas na size? By reaching 1/2 inch on each side. But from this picture, they are referring to a sample food item or ingredient, which is a bread. Okay. So, another cooking term, we have dice. Dice, from the definition, cut into evenly shaped pieces. About 1/4 inch naman daw ang dice cut natin on each side, as in dicing ingredients for a salad. Okay, as you can see here, from the picture, ito yung sample natin ng dice cut. So again, the difference between cube and dice, yung cube natin is 1/2 inch, pero pag in-apply natin yung dice cut is nasa 1/4 inch lang. And again, yung chop, as number one cooking term natin kanina, there's no specific or accurate size ang kailangan nating ma-meet. Pero meron lang siyang tatlong category, which is a small, medium, and large. Okay? So we have number 4, we have the cooking term pair. So when you pair, according to the definition, you can use a vegetable peeler, this one, yung color black, or a paring knife. Ayan, this is a smaller than the kitchen knife. Okay? And from the definition, it cut off the outside covering of a fruit or vegetable, as in paring an apple or a potato. So as you can see here from the picture, ito dapat yung kalabasan ng pear or pear cut. Ayan. So it's not ano lang ha, carrots lang yung pwede natin paggamitin. Again, any fruits or vegetables, pwedeng cucumber, what else? Vegetables natin, pwede din yung mga sayote, di ba? Even potatoes, depende kung ano yung hinihingi ng recipe natin. Okay, and then we have also another cooking term. So let's proceed to the next slide. Ayan, so we have mince. So mince, chop food into pieces that are small as possible, as in mincing an onion. Okay, so you know it already. So like this. Okay, so onion, pwede din ang garlic, or any ingredients that requires mince cut. Then we have another cooking term which is grate or shred. Grate and shred, from the definition, rub food over a grater to make fine particles or shredded food, as in grating or shredding cheese. Okay, so we have different kinds of grater then. We have the flat or the box type ng grater natin. So the big holes are for shredding. Okay, so depende din naman kasi if you want big sizes of shredded cheese, it depends upon the hole. Pero if you want more finer, you can use the other side. Okay? Yung mas maliliit yung holes niya. Okay? And hindi lang sa cheese tayo dapat mag-depend when we say grate and shred. Even carrots, diba? Sometimes we need to grate carrots, halimbawa, if you will cook red sauce or spaghetti, no? Most of the consumer want the carrots finer, the finer one, kung lalagyan ng carrots sa spaghetti. Okay? And then yung iba naman gusto dice lang or cube. So we can use other ingredient then, no? By means of using grater. Okay? So what else? We have another cooking term which is slice. So slice uniform, thin pieces. And then a grater has a side that slices. Ayan, diba? Mapapansin ninyo if you are watching different cooking vlogs, ayan, 'di ba? There are times that they need to use this one. Itong klase ng grater na 'to. Okay, yung side niya is meron na din pang slice. So multifunctional na yung ganitong klase ng grater natin. It's not holes lang yung mapapansin nyo sa kanyang appearance, but also have this kind of sides, no? Which is the intention is to slice the, other ingredients. So like this. So if you use this one grater and then mag-slice kayo ng cucumber and tomato, ito yung pwede niyang kalabasan. Okay? So though, we can use kitchen knife pa din naman. Okay? So what else? We have another one. Okay, we have also the mixing terms. So these are the methods used when combining ingredients naman. Okay. So we have the first mixing term, which is stir. So dito, titingnan lang natin ano yung mga tool or equipment that is needed when you apply this kind of mixing term. Para familiar tayo, once you apply this one, alam nyo yung pag-prepare ng mga tools natin and equipment sa kitchen. Kasi kapag in-apply natin yung maling gamit sa kitchen, hindi natin na maintain yung dapat na method na ina-apply dapat natin sa cooking. So for example, stir. According to the definition, use a spoon to make circular or figure eight motions as in stirring soup when it warms or making sauce. So we have the tool here. We need to use the presence of a spoon. Or sometimes, we need to use whisk or whip. Pero, hindi na siya under ng stir if gagamitin mo yung mixing term na stir. Kasi kapag stir, we just need to use spoon or pwede din yung mga ladles natin if we need to mix some sauces. Okay? So, in stirring method, you need to apply eight motions. So, circular ang ating movement. No? So, ano tayo dyan, aware dapat tayo kasi most of the time, once we steer, it depends upon the directions that we want. So, dito sa steering method natin, as part of mixing term is, we need to apply eight movements. Okay? So, yun po yung pinaka-standard. And another is blend, mix, or combine. Use a spoon to stir two or more ingredients together thoroughly. So as you can see here from the picture, it's not about one ingredient lang ang pwede nating um, gamitan ng ganitong klase ng method. Okay, method of mixing. So once we apply blend, mix, or combine, kailangan meron siyang higit sa isang ingredient. Pero paano yun, ma'am, if we will use one, ano lang, say for example, a simple juice, tang orange, ayan, may brand pa, no? That is a method of stirring. Kasi one ingredient lang. Pero kapag nag-apply na tayo ng marami pang ingredient, always remember, we can consider that as blend, mix, or combine. Okay po? Ayan. So, actually, some of the terms here, alam nyo na to gawin sa bahay or familiar kayo. Pero, we need to reiterate this one. Kasi sometimes, no, dumarating tayo sa point na nakakalimutan natin. Anong tawag doon? Ano nga pala yun? So, this is very important sa mga culinarians. Okay? So, hindi dapat to makalimutan so that we can have an efficient and effective work inside the kitchen. So, another is we have the beat. Use this technique to add air to foods, as in beating eggs. You can use a quick up and over motion with a spoon, wire whisk, or rotary beater, or electric mixer. So as you can see naman dito, meron tayong tatlo, almost three tools na kailangan gamitin. So we have the spoon, we have the wire whisk, and we have also the rotary beater. Or slash natin, pwede din ng electric mixer. So usually, ang beat naman sa egg lang to eh. Or any mixture. Say for example, you will create a dough sa paggawa ng bread. Dito lang ina-apply yan. Okay, usually yung beat. Or if you will beat some icings, pero mag-i-start yan founded by ano, by eggs pa din. Mag-i-start sa first step in beating eggs. Okay? So, what's the essence of this? Again, going back to the definition, this is the technique to add air to foods. Okay? So, this is very vital, no? Lalo na sa mga um, baking procedures in creating different baked goods. Ayan. And we have also another mixing term, which is whip. Whip is use a wire whisk. This is a wire whisk or wire whip. rotary beater or electric mixer to whip ingredients. So this rapid movement adds air and makes food fluffy. So kanina kung tatanungin ninyo, bakit um, kailangan gumamit ma'am ng 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 electric mixer or rotary beater, or bakit kailangan merong mga whipping method tayong i-apply or beating method no in cooking. Kasi one of the reason of applying this one is we need to achieve the fluffy appearance of a certain ingredient. Alimbawa, dito sa picture, itong whip na to, possible, they are creating icing. So, sa icing kasi, very important na kailangan, it's quite fluffy. Kasi pang ano siya pang spread doon sa mismong cake, no? Sa base ng cake. So, kailangan medyo makapal ang texture niya. So, hindi siya pwedeng liquid. So, kaya natin siya ina-apply. Itong ganitong klase ng mixing. Okay? To make food fluffy. What else? We have another one. Cream. So, what is cream? Use a spoon, bitter, or mixer to combine ingredients until soft and creamy, as in creaming fat and sugar for a cake. So, what are those tools naman na makikita nyo dito sa cream or creaming method? Again, we have the spoon, beater, or mixer to combine ingredients. And then may ina-achieve tayo dito until it becomes soft and creamy. Okay? So, magkaiba to sa whiff. Kasi yung sa whiff, fluffy. Ito naman, it makes the texture of the ingredients soft. Okay? Pero depende yan sa ingredients. Magkakaiba kasi ingredients na ginagamit. Okay, like this one. Meron lang diyang sugar, butter or margarine, and vanilla. Yan lang ang meron dito. Okay? So, what else? Cut in. Use a pastry blender or two knives and a cutting motion to mix solid fat with dry ingredients, as in cutting fat into flour for a pie crust. So, ito naman po yung cut in natin. As you can see, you can use pastry blender or two knives daw. So, yung knives natin, it's not the kitchen knives. Pwede na yung dinner knife natin. Pwede na siyang gamitin for you to mix solid fat with the dry ingredients. So, yung butter, as you can see here, is minimix niya to other ingredient. So, that is cut in. But not necessary, kailangan nilang mag-combine all throughout, but rather to have a pinch ingredient lang na mas nag-dominate dun sa isang ingredient. Halimbawa, itong butter. So, ikakat mo lang siya, but not necessary kailangan siyang matunaw, kailangan nila mag-blend to each other, no. Okay? So, that is cut in. So, usually itong cut in sa baking to ginagamit. Okay? So, we have fold. Use a rubber scraper to gently combine ingredients in a delicate mixture, such as adding a lighter ingredient to a heavier one. Folding keeps air in the mixture. So this is a sample of fold or folding method. Again, what's the tool that we need to use in folding? Folding method, rubber scraper, and what else? Of course, the mixing bowl, itong babasagin, and from heavy ingredient to lighter one. Kaya hindi pwedeng both heavy ang ingredient and both light ang ingredient. Dapat merong heavy, merong light. So we have the chocolate mousse syrup here, and then nag-add ng whipped cream. So alin ang mas heavy dito? Of course, yung chocolate base, and then yung heavy is yung whipped cream. So that is the folding or fold um, as part of mixing term. And then we have also Baste moisten food such as meat while cooking. Basting add flavor and helps keep food from drying out. So, example na lang natin kapag nag-ihaw tayo ng barbecue, di ba? So, from time to time, kapag binaliktad natin yun, meron tayong sauce na nilalagay using the pastry brush. Okay? Ano yung intention natin? To add flavor, di ba? Okay? At syempre, minimaintain natin na hindi magmukhang dry yung barbecue. Mas masarap siyang ihain, mas masarap siyang kainin kapag medyo kahit pa paano may nanunuot na sauce doon sa pork, no, or sa mismong barbecue. And that is considered as based. Okay? Based. Yan. So, brush, another mixing term. Use a brush to lightly cover the surface of one food with another, as in brushing butter sauce on cheddar biscuits. Like this one. So, hindi lang naman dyan, even sa mga breads or pandesal, no? So, we need to apply this one para ang maging texture niya paglabas from the oven is medyo lightly brown. So, nakaka-add siya ng appearance and nakaka-add din um, ng appeal, no, doon sa baked goods. So, by the use of what tool, we have the pastry brush. Yan. Ayan, then ano yun, ma'am? Ano yung nilalagay nila? We can use white egg, no? Para ilagay dun sa pinaka-crust or sa top ng mga baked goods natin. Ayan. We have another one which is coat. Cover the surface of a food with a dry ingredient such as flour, cornmeal, dry breadcrumbs, or sugar. Coating can also include liquid ingredients. So, you know this one na, di ba? So, yung coating. So, pwede ding dry ingredients ang gamitin, pwede ding liquid ingredients. So, wala naman tayo ibang tool na ginagamit, just the container kung saan mo ilalagay yung pang-coat natin sa pinaka-main ingredient. And then, lastly, we have garnish. Okay? So, garnish says that it decorate a food dish with a small decorative food item such as parsley, sprigs, carrot curls, or other decorative items. So, na-mention ko sa inyo last time nung nagluto kayo sa first laboratory natin, do not forget your garnishes. So, from my observation, some of the garnish are very common, no, when it comes to the style and to the cut, no, but it's okay kasi aaralin pa natin after this after this lesson, puproceed tayo sa art of garnishing. So again, this is part also of the cooking terms that you need to be learned because this is very important to the plate or for the presentation, food presentation, the garnishing. So again, you need to decorate food with a small decorative food item. So ito yung mga samples natin ng decorative food items. Yan, yung cucumber, yung lemon, and then look at this one, very class lang siya. Yung salmon, and then we have the sprigs on top, and then I guess this is mayonnaise or whipped cream. Nakatap lang siya doon sa ating I guess this is a biscuit or a patty, no? So it's look like special. So this is the essence of using garnish. So that's it. So I hope you have learned something from today's quick lesson about different cooking terms and mixing terms. So I hope and pray that on our next laboratory, when I asked you during your food preparation, you know what words or terms to be used while you are preparing your food presentation. Okay? So, if you have questions and clarification, do not hesitate to message me. So, wait for our next lesson, which is all about garnishing. Thank you for listening, and God bless everyone.